Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, please continue to pray for success with my art project by singing along with me, gesturing at your screen, hitting the dislike button, and most importantly, going to lego.com to vote for my builds. Uh, Lately, I've been doing the squaring the square puzzle out of Lego. This one has all of the squares from 1 by 1 all the way up to 25 by 25. It's a 43 by 129 rectangle. And I like how each number has a slightly different geometry, right? So, for example, Lego bricks tend to only come in even number cells, right? You got 2 by 4 brick is probably the most common. You have 2 by 6s, but there's no 2 by 5s. So for odd numbers, you kind of have to improvise. And I think this is a real nice geometry lesson as well. When I finally build, I probably won't build one this big for real. This one has 1786. Oh, I got an idea. There was this really famous Indian mathematician who had a favorite number. I think it was 1729. He called it a taxi cab number because one day he was taking a taxi cab and saw that number, and he told the taxi cab driver, "Hey, you got a really beautiful number." Taxi driver goes, "Why?" He goes, it's the smallest number that can be written as the sum of two cubes in two different ways." Right? And so numbers that have that property became known as taxi cab. I'm gonna have to do that. I can adjust this a little bit to make it into that number. I love having my Lego builds, the number of pieces being interesting number for whatever the build involves, because when I finally sell a Lego set and on the box it has that number in big font, right? It would be a good way to catch people's eyes, right? Especially if you're a mathematician, you might recognize that number, right? Or the for the build on the Palace of Culture and Science, I had 1898. We could probably get a picture of Mary Curry on the box, right? And I'm a little bit saddened on something else though. So Lego has these tiles that have alphabets on them, so you can put a little title on what's going on, right? So this is the tightly packed squares problem. I did it for 32 as well. I like the 25 better because of the dimensions. The 32 one is almost a perfect square. Oh, no, it's a little bit closer to being a square. And you can use those letter tiles to describe what's going on. I'm a little bit saddened to see there aren't any lowercase tiles. So I'll let you pause the video to think about what I would do if there were lowercase tiles. Well, I was thinking about what inspired me to get into art in the first place. You guys may have heard me talk about it. I was tutoring AP chemistry. One of my students had brought in a really fancy periodic table that showed the rarity of all the elements in the Earth's crust. And I discovered quite a few elements that are almost as rare as gold and make beautiful art. And that's where I began my art career. Obviously, Donald Trump took some of that away, and that's why I got into Legos. And so I was thinking about putting together a periodic table out of Legos with some kind of information, and maybe using the Lego pieces to depict some of the elements, right? So you could maybe make a gold bar out of some of these slanty bricks, and then obviously crystals of some of my favorite elements. But unfortunately, no lowercase letters. Right, so the chemical symbols usually have their first letter is uppercase, and then if there's two or three letters in the symbol, the second and third are lowercase. Ah, ah. Oh, well, I can still improvise around that. I'll probably do that at some point. Maybe make a periodic table where the height of each element is based on how rare it is in the Earth's crust. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.